Okay, talking about the various inversions, the way they stack in terms of the triad, the first and fourth strings are tuned an octave apart in the key of G, and therefore any chord formation that you use, in any major chord formation that you use, will have a doubling of notes on the first and fourth strings. In this formation of G, we have on the fourth string a G note. I'll play that. And then we have another one on the first string because that's just the way it is. And then we have the third on the third note of the scale, B, on the third fret of fourth fret of the third string, and the fifth is found there. So this inversion of G is rather strong because it has a 1 in the bottom and in the top note of the chord. Now when I get up to here, the stacking changes, okay? So bear in mind I had 1, 3, 5, 1. I'm going to point to those again. 1, 3, 5, 1. If I bring the stack up to here, it changes. Now I've got 3, 5, 1, 3. It's the same notes. It's G, B, and D, but they're stacked differently, okay? And then if I have the bar position up here, I've got on the fourth string, because the bar is hard to identify the strings, on the fourth string at the 12th fret I have a D, then I have a G on the third string, I've got a B on the second, and I've got a D on the top, on the first string. So that means that my dominant notes here will be the D notes. Down here will be my B's, down here will be my G. So this position is the most resolved sounding when you're dealing with the tonic, because you've got the tonic or the first note of the scale in the lowest note and the top note of the position. Okay, so let's just identify the notes this time. So again, we've got G, B, D, G, 2 G's. Over here, I've got B, D, G, B. So that these two are on the same fret, of course. So you've got 2 B's in this position. And then you've got the bar chord, and from the fourth string, you've got D, G, B, D. You have 2/5, 2 D's. Okay? So notice that about your stacks. In terms of recognizing where the thirds and the fifths are, you've got the 1, you've got the 3, you've got the 5. Okay? So the stacking changes, and that's why we can sort of play instant harmony if we play different positions at the same time. So if I'm playing Boil the Cabbage down here, and I'm going, and you're doing it up here, and then you can mess around with, going between those chord voicings, and because you've got a G here, then there's a D here, but there's also a D here, So it's really not that far away from one another. But once you go through identifying where all your major chords are, these things start to reveal themselves, and you go through it one song at a time, and over months or however long it takes, you get to know the fingerboard quite well.